we got a lot of information into a lot of people's hands, and that's really all I really wanted to happen. Because they wouldn't have really gotten it otherwise, I think. Like I said, I'm not a speaker. I gotta read off of this. But yeah. Hello? Okay. But yeah, hopefully we got a lot of people thinking and talking about what was released and its importance or unimportance, if they feel that way. The planning process for it just sprang up from a few concerned people coming together and talking about the issue and what it's like, the significance of it, and realizing that many people didn't know much about the information allegedly leaked by Bradley Manning. And coming up with a plan to show support for his, in our opinion, very noble and brave actions. The problem that I've found that most people have with the case is that the information may have helped the enemy know of future operations, troop locations, and various information that would compromise soldiers' lives. The actual truth, though, is that if the information exposed our diplomacy and wars, it's not. It's kind of coming out a little. Okay. Yeah, it exposed our diplomacy and wars for what they actually are, which are ways of profiting off of killing many people, all people, and it's run off of our own tax dollars, but which includes many, the killings include many civilians. This money then does not go to our community, but or even to the debt that we have that's caused by war, but into the pockets of the CEOs of Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, Boeing, Raytheon, and such. We learned from these documents that CEOs and the almighty dollar own our politicians. The aid that these insights have given have not been to terrorists or to any other enemy, but to our own knowledge. This leak touched all over the world, starting Arab Spring, beginning with Tunisia, bringing democracy to previously dictatorial countries, which was what we were told the purpose of these wars was in the first place. Once armed with the knowledge that we have of these leaked documents, we can change the entire system of lies and exploitation and get rid of this concept of a debt that we know now will never go away with the current system in place. The only way to change anything is to inform yourself of exactly what the problem is, which is why the government really doesn't want these things released and wants to show Bradley Manning as an example to all young soldiers not yet programmed out of their conscience to speak up about anything that they know is harming innocent people, especially when it's exploiting its own soldiers. The government, however, is not denying these truths and criminal actions, which I've got a list of some of the most important ones over by the tent back there, and they've all got sources and stuff in case you were skeptical. And please pick up a copy if you don't know, what they've released. And also, no one is holding the American government responsible for this. These wastes of taxpayer money funding wars that profit the few, or the secret torture and civilian death counts never before published, or the secret drone bombings conducted by Obama himself in Yemen and Pakistan, who's supposed to be our allies. And they also target weddings and funerals a lot of times. This information is very important. It should not be overlooked. Bradley Manning allegedly said in the chat logs that got him thrown into military prison without charge for a year. That's important. He said it's climate gate with a global scope, breathtaking depth. It's beautiful and it's horrifying. It's important that it gets out. I feel for some bizarre reason it might actually change something. And then he says, I wouldn't mind going to prison for the rest of my life or being executed so much if it wasn't for the possibility of having pictures of me plastered all over the world press as a boy because he was transgender, which is very sad to me. But this shows to me a completely selfless and noble act for the good of all people, not just CEOs. And to me, this makes him an incredibly honorable soldier worthy of us to at least look at the information we put he put his life on the line to release. Soldier suicide is on the rise. Our friends and family members in the military, after they come back from deployment, are unable to function healthily in society because of PTSD, while the military itself acts as though these courageous men and women are just broken down, selfish war machines. This information affects the life of every soldier, of every American, of everyone in the world. There's a large game being played on the world citizen that needs to end. If we were to just look at what's going on and care enough to try to change things, we might actually be able to progress unhindered and even facilitate it. Thank you.